Pay attention to what I'm going to tell you now, because it may change everything in your life from this day forward. There exists a curse that passes from father to son, from grandfather to grandson, from generation to generation, and it acts in silence. Have you ever wondered why your entire family seems to carry the same weight? Why the same pains repeat themselves? Why it seems that no one can truly prosper? That pattern of illness that returns, of marriage that crumbles, of money that arrives and goes away, of deep sadness without explanation. This has a name, and the Archangel Michael was sent now at this exact moment to break this chain that has imprisoned your lineage for 7 generations. You are not here by chance. Your eyes did not stop on this video without reason. Something inside your chest accelerated when you read this title. Something inside you recognized that this moment is different from all others. And it is. Because what will be revealed here may be the last opportunity that heaven is giving you to liberate not only your life, but your entire family. Think with me. Look at the history of your family. Did your grandfather suffer? Did your father carry the same weight? And now, do you feel that you repeat the same battles? How many times have you said quietly, "It seems there is something against my family"? How many times have you looked back and seen the same cycle of pain repeating itself in different ways? It is not paranoia. It is not bad luck. There exists a spiritual chain that binds the destiny of entire families. And this chain is not broken with human effort. It is broken when heaven intervenes, and heaven is intervening now. God says, "I have not forgotten your lineage. I saw every tear shed in secret by your mother. I counted every sleepless night of your father. I recorded every silent scream that your grandmother swallowed. And today I am sending the Archangel Michael with his sword raised to cut once and for all the root of this pain that traverses your blood. You need to understand one thing. The lineage curse does not attack in an obvious way. It is subtle. It disguises itself as bad luck, as lack of opportunity, as chronic illness, as persistent loneliness. You look at your life and think it is normal. You think everyone goes through this. But something inside you knows it is not. Something inside you screams that there is more, that you were made to live free. And this scream is the proof that your spirit recognizes the prison in which it resides. The Archangel Michael is before you now. He has lowered the flaming sword, that same sword that faced legions of darkness. And he looks into your eyes and says, "I came here because of your blood, because what binds you bound your mother, bound your father, and will bind your children if you do not act now. He did not come to fight against people. He came to cut invisible chains that bind the destiny of your house for generations." Now pay attention. Do you know that sensation that something is holding you back? That impression that you are always almost succeeding, but never reach it? That tightness in the chest that arrives without warning, as if someone were squeezing your heart from the inside? This is the weight of the generational curse, and it works like this. With each generation that passes without someone breaking it, it strengthens. It feeds on fear, ignorance, and silence. And for this very reason, most families never liberate themselves, because no one speaks about it. No one confronts what is hidden in the roots. But you are different. You are here. You did not close the video. You did not move on. And this proves that there is something inside you that refuses to accept this inherited destiny. There is a divine spark in your spirit that refuses to be extinguished, and heaven recognizes this spark. And I need to tell you something that perhaps will change the way you view everything you have lived until now. This restlessness that you feel, this anguish that has no rational explanation, this weight that seems not to be only yours, all of this is the sign that you were chosen to be the link that breaks the chain. It was not for nothing that you were born into this family. It was not for nothing that you carry this spiritual sensitivity that others in your house do not have. You are the person whom heaven designated to end the cycle of pain that traverses your lineage. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You in the Final Judgment. This material was born precisely for those who feel inside their chest that there is a mission greater than simply living and dying, but still cannot see clearly what God is asking. Inside it, you will find revelations that many people spend their entire lives without discovering. Revelations about your spiritual role in your family, about the weight you carry that is not your fault, and about how to finally position yourself before the call that heaven is making. Thousands of people who downloaded this book have already written to me reporting that after the reading, everything finally made sense. That confusion gave way to a clarity they had never experienced. That fear transformed into firmness. The link is in the description of this video and also at the top of the comments. But do not leave it for later, because this type of content can go offline at any moment. If this message reached you, it is because heaven wants you to act now. Write in the comments, "I accept my mission and take this decision today." Now let us continue, because what comes next is even stronger. And if you are enjoying this content and feel that it speaks directly to your heart, click the like button now. This simple gesture helps this message reach more people who need to hear this as much as you do. God says, "I showed the Archangel Michael the chains that bind your house." And each link of this chain has a name. There is the link of abandonment, which made your ancestors feel alone, even when surrounded by people. There is the link of scarcity, which made money never be enough, no matter how much one worked. There is the link of illness, which visited generation after generation as if it were a blood inheritance. And there is the most dangerous link of all, the link of silence, which prevented your family from speaking about me, from seeking the truth, from confronting what was wrong in the spiritual roots of your house. Think of your own history for a moment. How many times did you feel that you worked harder than everyone else, but harvested less? How many times did you see people with less effort, less dedication, less sweat, achieving what you never achieved? This is not about capacity. It is not about intelligence. It is not about merit. It is about a spiritual barrier that acts in the shadows, and as long as this barrier is not torn down, the pattern continues to repeat itself. Generation after generation, son after son, grandson after grandson. But here is the part that the enemy does not want you to discover. The lineage curse has a weakness. It has a breaking point. And this point is simpler than you imagine. It needs at least one family member willing to break it. A single descendant who stands up, who opens their spiritual eyes and says with authority, "Enough. This ends here. With me. Now." When this cry comes from the heart of someone with true faith, the entire chain breaks. And heaven has been waiting for this cry since before you were born. The Archangel Michael says, "I have observed your family for 7 generations. I saw your ancestors struggle without understanding against what. I saw the exhaustion in the eyes of your grandmother who worked from dawn to dusk without ever having enough. I saw the resignation on the face of your father who swallowed the pain so as not to worry anyone. I saw your mother on her knees praying in the dark, asking for something that even she did not know how to name. And now I look at you, and I see the same pain. Yes, but I see something I did not see in the others. I see fire. I see a profound refusal to accept this cursed inheritance. And that is why I am here, because you are the only one who can do what none of your ancestors could. Now answer me with sincerity, even if only in thought. Are you not tired? Tired of carrying a weight that you do not even know where it comes from? Tired of seeing the same difficulties repeating in the lives of your siblings, your cousins, your children? There are people who look at their family and think this is destiny, that they were born to suffer, that life is just like this for people like us. But God says no. God says that the life He planned for you is abundant, and that everything that stands between you and this abundance is a chain that can be cut today, in this instant, in this hour. And here is something that needs to be clear, very clear. You are not alone in this fight. The Archangel Michael is with his sword in combat position. He has already cut chains larger than yours. He has already toppled entire armies of darkness. He has already faced the Prince of Darkness himself and won. And now all this strength, all this celestial authority is directed toward a single target, the curse that has enslaved your lineage for 7 generations. But he needs one thing, one single thing from your part, your decision. Your conscious choice to no longer spend another day bound to this cycle of inherited pain. God says, "I do not send my angels in vain." If the Archangel Michael descended to the ground where you step, it is because the moment is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, now. The door that I opened for your family has an hour to close. And if it closes before you pass through it, the silence will return, the weight will return, and it will be harder next time, because the chain becomes stronger with time. With each generation that ignores the call, one more link is formed. I know what you are feeling now, perhaps a mixture of hope and doubt, perhaps fear, perhaps an inner voice saying that this is not for you, that you are not worthy, that you have erred too much. But let me tell you one thing with all firmness. This voice is not yours. This voice belongs to the enemy who kept your family shackled for 7 generations. He is terrified now, at this exact moment, because he realized that you will not retreat. He is trembling because he knows that if you reach the end of this message, his dominion over your house ends forever. The Archangel Michael speaks. I saw the face of the enemy when you clicked on this video. The fear in his eyes was real. He tried to distract you. He tried to make your internet fail. He tried to put a thought in your head saying it was a waste of time. He tried to use someone near you to interrupt you, but you resisted, and every second of resistance weakened his claws over your family. Pay close attention now, because this part is fundamental. The lineage curse sustains itself on 3 pillars: secrecy, shame, and fear. Secrecy, because no one in the family speaks openly about the patterns that repeat. We feel it, but we do not comment. We perceive it, but we pretend we do not see. Shame, because when someone finally perceives that something is wrong, they feel the fault is theirs. They think they are weak, that they are incapable, that they are deserving of that pain. And fear, because confronting the spiritual root of a problem requires a courage that most do not have. It requires looking into the abyss and not retreating. But today now, in this instant, while you absorb every word, the 3 pillars are crumbling. The secret is being revealed before your eyes. Shame is being replaced by profound understanding. And fear is giving way to the spiritual authority that heaven is depositing upon your shoulders. You do not need to be ashamed of your family's history. You do not need to hide the scars. You need to have the courage to look at them and say, I understand where they came from, and I decide that they stop here. And for those who are feeling the weight of this responsibility, for those who feel that their strength seems insufficient, I want you to know that there is a path. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You in the Final Judgment. In it, you will find exactly what you need to understand the role that God reserved for you within your family and how to act spiritually from now on to keep the chains broken. The link is in the description and at the top of the comments. Every day that passes without this clarity is one more day that the enemy uses to try to restore what was destroyed. Do not postpone what heaven has placed before you. Now let us go deeper, because what I am going to reveal to you from here on changes absolutely everything. God says, there is a moment in eternity that I reserved for each family. A moment of total turning, a moment where the accumulated pain of entire generations is transformed into multiplied blessing. And for your family, that moment is today. I did not choose this day by chance. I did not bring you to this message without purpose. Every detail was calculated with divine precision. Every circumstance that led you here was aligned by my hand. Do you know what happens when a curse of 7 generations is finally broken? The effect is not only upon you. The effect spreads through your entire lineage, both backward and forward. In the spiritual plane, your ancestors who suffered under this chain find peace. And in the earthly plane, your children will sleep differently starting today. Your grandchildren will be born free from shackles that should never have existed. The prosperity that was blocked for decades will begin to flow like a river that finally broke the dam. Relationships that were destined to crumble will be restored stone by stone. Illnesses that seem to be part of your family's DNA will lose all power. Because when the spiritual root is cut by the sword of the Archangel Michael, the cursed fruits wither, all of them, at once. Imagine for an instant, imagine your mother waking up tomorrow feeling a lightness she has never felt in her entire life. Imagine your father breathing deeply without that tightness in his chest that he no longer even questions. Imagine your children growing up without carrying the invisible weight that you carried since childhood. This is not fantasy. This is not a daydream. This is what happens in the real world when someone stands up with faith and authority and declares, "The curse stops here with me now. No force of hell will make this chain continue in my house." The Archangel Michael raises the sword. The blade shines with an intensity that makes the darkness retreat meters, kilometers, entire dimensions. And he declares with a firm voice, "Every chain that binds your family has a breaking point." And the breaking point is always the same in all lineages. The faith of a descendant willing to believe that liberation is real and possible. If this faith exists, however small it may be, however trembling it may be, I have direct authority from the throne to strike. And when I strike, no chain forged in hell resists. And if you are following until here, subscribe to the channel now, press the bell. Because with each new video, heaven brings a specific message for this moment of your life, and I do not want you to miss any of them. Now think of something. How many times did you almost give up on everything? How many times did the weight seem unbearable? How many nights did you stay awake looking at the ceiling, wondering why? Why me, Lord? Why does my family go through this? Why does nothing change, no matter how much I try? God heard each of those questions. He kept every tear. He recorded every sigh. And he used each of those pains as fuel to prepare this exact moment, because your pain was not in vain. It prepared you, it strengthened you, and it molded you into someone capable of receiving this message and acting upon it. If you had not suffered what you suffered, you would not have the spiritual sensitivity necessary to be here now. Pay attention to what will happen from today on. Stay alert for the signs in the coming days. An unexpected conversation will confirm what you are feeling at this moment. A door that you thought was locked forever will open without anyone pushing. A person will say something that will echo inside your chest, as if God were using their mouth to give you a confirmation. Do not discard anything as coincidence. Nothing will be coincidence. Everything will be part of the unfolding of this liberation that began now. God says, "When I break a chain of 7 generations, the echo spreads for 7 generations forward. Your children will feel a freedom they will not know how to explain. The children of your children will be born already free from marks they should never have carried. The blessing that was stolen from your lineage for 7 generations will be restored in overflowing measure. Where there was scarcity, there will be abundance that shames the enemy. Where there was illness, there will be health that defies human logic. Where there was bitter loneliness, there will be true and lasting love. This is my promise sealed in the blood of my Son, and I do not go back on my word ever." If you are feeling something different now, if there is a heat rising through your chest, if your eyes are watery, if there is a shiver running through every inch of your body, do not ignore it. Do not rationalize it. Do not try to explain it. This is the Archangel Michael passing the blade of the sword over every chain that binds you and that binds your house. Every emotion that rises is a link breaking. Every tear that flows is an ancient shackle opening. Let it happen. Surrender to the process. Do not fight against what heaven is doing in you at this exact moment. And here is something that few people in this world understand. Spiritual liberation does not happen only in the invisible plane. It manifests in a concrete way in the material world. In the next 30 days, observe your life with total attention. Money that was stuck for months will begin to arrive through paths you did not expect. Relationships that seemed condemned will begin to restore in ways you did not plan. Your body will respond in a different manner. That chronic pain that you no longer even complain about because you got used to it will diminish. Your sleep will change. Your mental clarity will increase as if someone took a blindfold off your eyes. Because when the spiritual chains fall, the body, the mind, and the material circumstances are forced to follow. The Archangel Michael looks at you one last time with eyes that carry the light of 1,000 suns and says, "I did not descend here in vain. I did not leave the direct presence of the throne of God to be ignored. I came because the Father sent me personally, and the Father sent me because you cried out. Perhaps you do not remember the exact moment. Perhaps it was in a whisper at dawn. Perhaps it was in a contained cry in the bathroom. Perhaps it was in a silent scream in the middle of traffic. But there was a night, there was a moment in which your heart screamed in silence for help. And this scream traversed dimensions, it tore veils, it echoed in the corridors of heaven. And God rose from the throne and said, "Go, Michael. Go to my son. Go to my daughter. The time has come to liberate their house, because I have already waited 7 generations, and this is the moment I chose. Dear one, what happened here today was not just any video. It was not entertainment, it was not chance, it was a direct divine intervention in your life and in the life of your entire family, and you participated in it. You stayed until here when thousands closed before. You did not give up when the voice of the enemy tried to take you from here. You did not retreat when doubt tried to weaken your faith. And because of this courageous decision, something changed in the spiritual plane that can never again be reversed. The chain was cut. The decree was sealed. The liberation was activated. If you like this type of content that transforms lives and truly touches the spirit, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so as not to miss any revelation that heaven has reserved for you in the coming days. God says, "Tell my son, tell my daughter that I am proud." They stayed. They believed when everything said to doubt. They accepted the mission I placed upon their shoulders, and now I will honor them in ways that the human mind cannot even imagine. What was delayed in their lives will be accelerated with supernatural speed. What was stolen by the curse will be returned double, triple, in overflowing measure. What was destroyed by the enemy will be reconstructed with glory, visible to the naked eye. This is the pact I make with those who obey me. And my son, my daughter obeyed me today. And I never forget the obedience of my own. And before closing, I need to leave you with something that cannot wait even one more minute. Everything that was said here planted a powerful seed inside you, but the seed needs to be watered with knowledge, with direction, and with practical action. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You in the Final Judgment. This book is the natural next step after everything you lived here. It will show you how to keep the liberation active day after day, how to spiritually protect your family against any attempt by the enemy to restore the chains, and how to precisely identify the signs that God will place in your path from now on to confirm everything that was declared in this message. The link is in the description and at the top of the comments. Do not ignore what heaven has placed before your eyes. You were the chosen one of your lineage to break the cursed chain. Now it is time to walk with firmness in the freedom that was conquered for you and for your entire house. Write in the comments, "My family is free," and declare this over your house with all the authority that heaven has deposited in you. This declaration is not just a comment on a screen. It is a spiritual mark. It is the visible seal that confirms in the spiritual plane the total liberation of your lineage. The Archangel Michael raises his wings once more. The celestial sword shines with a light that illuminates 7 generations forward. The angels around him bow their heads in reverence to what was done here, and he declares with the voice that makes the darkness tremble, "It is done. The chain is cut. The curse of 7 generations is annulled by the power of the eternal throne. From today on, this family walks in full freedom. No force of darkness, no principality, no power can restore what was destroyed by the sword of heaven. Protection remains over this house. The shield remains over each member of this family. And I, the Archangel Michael, remain on guard beside the one who chose obedience when the easiest thing was to give up." God says, "Now observe with eyes wide open. In the coming days, in the coming moments, you will see with your own eyes the confirmation of everything that was said here. The proof will arrive, not by chance, not by coincidence, but by direct decree from my throne. And when it arrives, when the confirmation is before you as clear as the midday sun, remember this moment. Remember that it was here that everything changed, that it was here that the chain broke, that it was here that the destiny of your family was rewritten forever. You are loved in an immeasurable way. You are protected by forces that your eyes do not see. You are free, and absolutely nothing, not the past, not fear, not the enemy, not doubt, can change that. This is the eternal truth. This is the decree of heaven, and this is forever.